So the next one is going to be integers. Integers are a lot like whole numbers that you already know. The main difference is that there are negative integers as well as positive integers. 0 is also an integer. Here is one way we can picture the set of integers. So we see this number line here, and this is a great number line because it shows all the negative numbers in one group, all the positive numbers in one group, and the 0 sitting in the middle. As you can see, the negative numbers are to the left of the 0. We use a little raised minus sign to show that an integer is negative. Sometimes we use a little raised plus sign to show that an integer is positive, but we usually don't use any sign at all when an integer is positive. 0 is neither positive nor negative. Alright, so the activity we're really going to be doing is comparing integers. And it's really nothing that new. It's going to be doing the old alligator mouth, greater than, less than situation. So it's really helpful to look at it with the number line when we're looking at negative numbers, and you'll see why soon. By looking at the number line, we can easily tell which integers are greater, larger than a certain number, which are less or smaller than a number. So they look with negative 2, and they give us some arrows to the left and another one to the right. 1 is greater than negative 2 because it is to the left, because it is to the right of negative 2. So 1 is to the right of negative 2, so when we go to the right, that means it's going to be greater. The next one says negative 4 is less than negative 2 because it is to the left of negative 2. So negative 4 is to the left of negative 2. So instead of going to the right, we go to the left, which means, hey, when we go this direction, it's something that is less than. So we're going to write greater than equals to or less than between the two integers to show whether the first is greater than, equal to, or less than the second. So 1 is greater than negative 2. We don't have to write a little bubble, but it helps us remember which one is which. They also do the same thing here. Negative 4 is less than negative 2. And remember, those are the same ones we looked at here. So let's look at a couple on our own. Which one is bigger, 5 or 2? Well, that's pretty obvious since there's no negatives, but we know that 5 is to the right of 2. So if we're at 2, we'd have to go to the right in order to get to the 5. So 5 is definitely greater. This is another easy one. It's no negative number, so it's obvious. 2, hey, we know, is less than 5. So we know 2 is less than 5. We just did that because 2, we have to go to the right to get to 5. So to get to 2 from 5, we'd have to go to the left, which means less than. And if you if you get confused, think of the alligator mouth. The alligator is supposed to be eating the bigger one. That trick usually works almost always. Negative 2 or 0? Which one is bigger, or are they equal? Well, let's see the number line. Here's here's 0, and here's negative 2. Negative 2 is to the left of 0, so 0 must be the greater one. So negative 2 is less than 0. Again, the alligator mouth eating the bigger one. Let's do one more with some negatives. So we have negative 7 and negative 3. Well, here's negative 7 and here's negative 3. We'd have to go further to the left to get to negative 7. So negative 3 must be greater. So negative 7 is less than negative 3. Alrighty. Make sure you check the number line, and you can also look at it with the alligator mouth pointing whichever direction makes sense for you. Good luck. Make sure to comment any questions you have or concerns.